Hello, dear audience. Welcome back to the channel, where we follow emotional storylines, unexpected twists, and the unwavering journey of love and resilience lived by the characters in this captivating story. Today, we'll continue exploring the latest developments in the tale of the cold-hearted CEO Alex and the strong-willed single mother, Tuna. Have you ever wondered, after all the upheavals, pain and challenges Tuna has endured, what path will she choose for herself? At this turning point, when Adam and Madam Tang people, who once seemed like strangers, reach out with kindness and offer their support, will Tuna have enough faith to stay? Or will she decide to leave, walking away from a place filled with painful memories? We all know Tuna is a woman of great strength. But behind that strength lies deep pain. Lonely nights spent with her child. Silent tears wiped away so she can smile and make her little one feel loved and safe. Now that she's given a chance to start anew, will she be brave enough to let go of the past and embrace a new chapter in her life? And what about CEO Alex? Once a man of cold logic and bold decisions in the business world, now finds himself vulnerable when facing his own heart. What will he do to find Tuna? How many obstacles must he overcome, from family expectations and social prejudice to their shared past, just to be with the woman he's come to realize is the most important person in his life? Tuna and Alex's journey is reaching its most intense and emotional point. Will fate give them a second chance? Is their love strong enough to heal the wounds and bring them back together? Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss a single detail, no matter how small, in this touching and emotional love story between CEO Alex and the courageous single mother, Tuna. After what seemed like a fateful encounter at the old abandoned factory, the lives of Tuna and her young child took a completely new turn. It was there that Adam, once just a stranger who passed briefly through her life like a distant wind, suddenly became the first light that pierced through the hopeless shadows surrounding her and her child. No one could have imagined that from a place filled with little more than desolate memories, Tuna would discover a new beginning, a new chapter of her life, filled with light, with laughter, and with people she never thought she could grow so close to. The days spent with Madam Tang and Adam brought Tuna a kind of life she had only dared to dream about during rushed, restless sleep. For the first time in many years, she sat at a family meal surrounded by warmth and laughter, with bowls of hot soup, lovingly prepared, not just instant noodles or cold rice eaten hastily to fill an empty stomach. The dinners here were not extravagant or luxurious, but they were filled with affection and sincerity, the very thing she had long yearned for. At times, she would quietly watch her son laugh and play with Madam Tang in the small yard, and her heart would swell with happiness. She never imagined that her child could smile so brightly, or that he would call someone other than her grandma with such innocent joy. Mornings in the old house began so gently. As the first rays of sunlight filtered through the leaves and glistened on lingering dew, the birds chirped cheerfully to greet the new day. In the small kitchen, Tuna would begin preparing breakfast. She made simple dishes: chicken porridge, fried eggs, boiled vegetables, ordinary meals, yet full of love and care. On the porch, Madam Tang gently cradled the baby in her arms, softly, patting and humming lullabies. Her voice didn't just sing to the child, it sang to a part of Tuna's childhood that had never truly existed. Standing in the kitchen looking out the window at that scene, Tuna felt her heart soften. The peace she had never dared to dream of was somehow becoming real. Tuna had dreamed of this scene so many times, a modest home and innocent child, a kind second mother, and a life that flowed gently without pressure, without exhaustion. And now, as that dream began to take form in front of her, a quiet anxiety began to rise inside her. Was all of this real? Or was it just a long, sweet dream that would dissolve the moment she woke up? But then her child's laughter, Madame Tang's frail but warm hands, and Adam's silent yet sincere gaze as he handed her a cup of hot tea, all of it gently reminded her, this is real. This is the present, and she deserves to live in it. Each piece of this new life was like a puzzle of joy, seemingly ordinary. Yet to Tuna they were extraordinary. She was no longer the lonely woman walking through countless uncertain days. She was now a mother who was cherished, a woman who was respected, and a member of a small yet deeply loving family. Each night as she laid her child to sleep, gently stroking his hair and listening to his peaceful breathing, Tuna would smile softly, a quiet smile free of past worries. Her life now held more than just smiles. It held hope. It held forgiveness, fresh beginnings, and a future that slowly unfolded before her. A future where she no longer had to walk alone. Early the next morning, while the dew still clung to the leaves and the sunlight barely peeked through the village alley, Tuna awoke. She put on an old jacket and stepped barefoot into the backyard. The garden wasn't large, but every tree, every patch of green had become deeply familiar to her. Among the lush green leaves, the clusters of lychees had ripened plump, fragrant, glowing red under the soft morning sun. Tuna gently picked each bunch with care, her eyes filled with tenderness, as if she were touching something truly precious. She carefully placed the fresh lychees into an old bamboo basket. These weren't just fruits, they were the result of peaceful days, the fruit of a new life taking shape after years of hardship. By the time the sun rose above the mountains, Tuna was already on her way to the market. The path through the village remained unchanged, trees gently swaying in the breeze, dogs barking in the distance, the crunching sound of bicycle tires rolling across gravel, blending with footsteps. Everything seemed just as it had always been, peaceful, familiar. The morning market was bustling. Sellers called out, buyers bargained, and laughter mingled with the sounds of a new day. Tuna chose a small corner, laid out her basket of vibrant red lychees. But amid the busy crowd, her heart suddenly sank. She froze. The same corner, the same familiar sounds, the same early bustle, yet everything around her stirred something deep inside. This place was filled with memories. Memories she thought she had left behind. It was here in this very market that she and CEO Alex once stood side by side selling fruit. Two people from seemingly different worlds, one a struggling single mother, the other a man perched atop the ladder of success. But it was those days, those mornings spent together sharing glances, quiet smiles that had woven into a part of Tuna's memory she could never forget. Every gesture, every look from Alex came flooding back as if it were just yesterday. The way he clumsily held a lychee while trying to sell it the moment he secretly handed her a warm bun saying, "Eat something," or the time he quietly held an umbrella over her during a sudden rainstorm. Small moments yet, now they struck her heart with piercing sharpness. And then, Tuna's tears fell. She couldn't hold them back. 2 silent streams slid down her cheeks in the middle of the bustling morning market. No one noticed. Life went on as usual for everyone else, but for her, a quiet storm of memories and longing welled up in her chest. How long had it been since she last heard anything about Alex? She didn't know where he was now, how he was doing, whether he was well. Did he still remember the days they spent together, or had everything become nothing more than a fleeting dream? And if he did remember, was he still trying to find her and their child even the smallest clue? Tuna didn't know. But deep inside, she still held on to a fragile hope that someday Alex would find her, that he would reappear in this dusty, ordinary life, not as a successful CEO, but as the man who once gave her his genuine heart. Maybe it would be tomorrow, maybe much later. But just knowing that somewhere in this world, someone might still be looking for her, gave her strength to keep going, no matter how difficult life became, because what she and Alex shared was real. Not a dream, not a fairy tale, but 2 souls once lonely, once broken, who had found each other in the chaos of life. Tuna quickly wiped her tears away, forcing a smile for a customer stopping by to buy lychees. Life had to go on, and she knew she couldn't live in the past forever. But sometimes, just one familiar corner, a sliver of morning light, a passing memory, and her heart would ache all over again for someone she once had. Will Alex be able to overcome all obstacles to find Tuna and her child? Will a sincere heart be strong enough to break through all the distances, misunderstandings, and pain? Their journey is far from over, with many twists still waiting ahead. And we, the ones following their story, will continue to walk with them until the very last moment. Don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell, so you won't miss any of the emotional twists and turns in the story of CEO Alex and the courageous single mother, Tuna.
Hai con người từng cô đơn, từng tổn thương đã tìm thấy nhau giữa dòng đời chật hẹp. Tuna đã lấy tay lau nhanh nước mắt, cố gắng gượng cười với cách kém một vài. Cuộc sống vẫn phải tiếp diễn và cô hiểu rằng mình không thể mãi sống trong quá khứ, nhưng đôi khi chỉ cần một góc chợ quen, một tia nắng sớm, một khá kỹ của mình là tim cô lại thắt lại vì một người như Alex có thể vượt qua mọi khó khăn để tìm lại mẹ con Tuna. Liệu trái tim chân thành có thể vượt độ mạnh mẽ để phá tan những khoảng khắc ấy và những lần mà tổn thương? Hành trình ấy vẫn đang tiếp diễn với nhiều nút thắt chưa được tháo gỡ, và chúng ta, những người theo dõi câu chuyện, hãy tiếp tục đồng hành cùng họ đến những giây phút cuối. Hành trình ấy vẫn đang tiếp diễn với những đừng quên ấn đăng ký và bật chuông thông báo để không bỏ lỡ những diễn biến đầy cảm xúc hành trình của CEO Alex và người mẹ đơn thân Tuna.